Hi friends, thanks for joining me in the studio today for another 10-minute make. Hoping it's 10 minutes, hoping I don't get sidetracked. Maybe it'll be a 12-minute make, maybe it'll be an 8-minute make, but I've gathered some things together and I'm ready to get started. So I'm gonna back up and I'm gonna show you what I did in the last 10-minute make. So I'm filling my ledger journal here that I made with the 49 Market Create album and some of the Vintage Essential fabric tape to cover it. And then on the inside, I put some of the Nature Study solid papers from the 6x8 pack. And now I'm gonna take another blank sheet. So I'm gonna set this aside and I'm going to do another make. I've gathered some elements that I really like to continue in this theme, again with Nature Study. And I picked elements from the page kit. Now, if y'all haven't seen the page kits, let me see, I'm gonna grab it here. They come so packed. Okay, I'm not making the scrap of pages with the page kit. I am using all the different bits and pieces for different stuff. You get chipboard, you get a whole mess of laser cuts, and you get the papers to do your scrap of pages with, and you get a fussy cut sheet. I mean, it's really pretty endless. So if you see these in your store, you want them. I mean, even if you don't want to make the pages, you want all the stuff. Okay. So that's my little pitch on those. And then here you can see, I'm gonna add fabric again, like I did last time. These are from little tears from Seth Apter's fabric with Free Spirit. He stopped by a few weeks ago and left me with some remnants, and I love them. Look at all the text and the grunge and the clustery, rusty. Oh, really fun. Great for a little accent. So, and have you seen the 49 Market lace? Gotta have the lace. We've got cream, black, and white. This was cream that I inked up, and I'm actually gonna take a quick minute and run up to my sewing machine and sew these together, and then I'll be back down to get started. All right, so I'm back. I sewed this together, left the threads. I really like how the threads look. And I've got my pieces here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. This piece is a Rubon from the Vintage Artistry Nature Study color wash. I really like the color wash. They give you just a fresh background, like a base for things. You know, it's as if you got it all wet, but you didn't. And here today I'm using my little Sissix burnisher. It's got a really fat end, and a medium end. So in fact, because this is so large, I'm gonna go with the fat end. You know, I'm starting to like this burnisher. This and my old vintage spoon burnisher that I use from my college days. Okay, so we've rubbed that on, carefully peeling back. When you go slow and careful with it, you can see if maybe some of your rubbing didn't catch, and you can go back and rub it again. But that looks perfect. Very pleased with that. You can always do an extra rub over by turning the shiny side of the backing down on it and rubbing. All right, then I've chosen this rub-on from the Nature Study 12x12 rub-ons. It's the stack of 3 moths. It's like a composition, all ready to go for you. I love doing that in my designs so that you don't have to think too much about it. You can just put things down and get going and make a 10-minute make, right? Got to make it quick and easy and fun and refreshing. And some people have asked me, what do you do with these journal pages when you're done? Are you scrapbooking? Why do you do these pages? And there's a variety of reasons. I mean, you can take pages like this and add photos, add journaling, use them as a daily journal. You can use them as memory keeping. Oops, so you can see here that I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to rub again. But you can also do this kind of art journaling, creative journaling, for just a personal release. You like to make stuff. So this is a really fun way to make stuff. You can make these into wood panels that you display in your home. I've done stuff like that before. But I'm really enjoying journals at the moment. I think it's all like different seasons of our lives. When my daughter was young and growing up and constantly on the go, making core memories and doing all the stuff, that's when I was really scrapbooking a lot, really wanting to document the stories, make the photo books, have her remember all the adventures. But I'm in a different chapter of my life now, so the art journaling really suits me. It gives me a creative outlet. And another thing for me, I'm sure it doesn't apply to anyone else, but when I'm designing new collections, coming over to my crafting area and working with things like this, it really does help me design my next collections. So I know what works, what maybe doesn't, what inspired me, what didn't, what I want more of, what I want less of. So that's why I do it. All right, so let me think about, I'm gonna run out of time on a 10-minute make, oops. All right, how would I want to compose this page? Actually, I might mix it up from what I originally thought and go horizontal here. So I've got my fabric, postcard. I'm going to pull it down in between here. Ephemera. I've got a doily. And, I think I'm going to cut my doily. I'm going to go over to my cutter. And then got some leaves that can be added in here. A sentiment strip, and I'll do the rub-on sentiment at the end. But I also have some tickets. I love these ticket rolls. These are from the first year we did them, so the backs are blank. But they're really fun. If you haven't added ticket rolls to your stash, you're going to want to, because they are just too fun. All right, and then, of course, along with the ticket rolls came postage. So I'm going to add a postage in there too. All right. Okay, so I cut the doily in half, and I think I'm going to tuck it under here. So let's see. Let's start by gluing some of these things together and take the rub-ons, put it over here. Kind of running a little long on my 10-minute make, I think, but it'll be okay. All right, so we're gonna add the fabric onto the doily and pull that off and over to the side. See, I'm gonna add the leaf to the ephemera. I find that kind of clustering my elements beforehand, before adding them to the page, helps everything come together. So we've got that. I'm going with it like that. I'm going to add the postcard ephemera. Now you could go in and rough up the edges and all that kind of stuff, but I'm just not going there because, you know, 10-minute make, but feel free. All right, so we've got that kind of where I want it. I'm gonna pull it down a little bit so I don't hide the face of the butterfly, and then take this fabric and doily, and that'll go over the top. So I think that's what I'll do next, is glue on the little doily edger to my ephemera. Right, kind of like that, straighten it out a little. I think the graphic designer in me, whoops, likes things straight. Okay, so see I've got that nice little cluster. Then I'm gonna flip it over carefully because it's all still kind of wet. And I'm gonna glue the back side. I'm using my 3M Tacky glue. You can get it on Amazon, and I will link it up below. The nice thing about this ledger paper from the Vintage Artistry collection, Nature Study collection, is the grid lines. It helps you line everything up a lot easier. All right, so let's go in and tuck in some tickets too. Just gluing them up. I'm gonna kind of slide it under here. And then I think I'm gonna put this one on top so it's kind of layering. Gotta have your layers. It gives depth and interest to your pages. It's like making little collage compositions, right? Okay, and the last thing to go in here will be the postage. Oh, no, I misspoke, not the last thing. Still have the typewriter strip, okay. Doesn't that come together nice? I'm liking it. I'm liking it. It's good. It's all good. Okay. Wander, wonder, repeat. See, just like that, everything all lined up. We got a 5 and a 5 and a 5. Didn't even plan for that. Just kind of funny how things like that happen, huh? So let's actually move it over a little bit so you can see as if it were planned. Got 5, 5, and 5. Woohoo. All right. So all the gluing is done. And the last thing to do is to add the sentiment rub-on. So this is all we need, is the sentiment I've chosen. Using the grid lines. Oh, you know what? I didn't really want to do this. I'm going to use this little picker from Sussex and hope that I'm not going to pull any of it up, because I had the wee kind of overlapping the wing, and I don't want it to overlap the wing. All right, there, that'll work, right? So burnish it all down, rub, 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 rub. And then peel it off. And I do recommend, in the beginning of designing these rub-ons, I didn't recommend, I wasn't always saying cut your rub-ons out, but as I'm throwing more and more on the pages so we can maximize your rub-on purchase, I do recommend cutting them out so that what you're rubbing down is only what you want. And if you see, I'm carefully lifting and seeing if I've missed anything, and then just laying it right back down and rubbing again. And you can't even tell, right? Perfect. There it is. All done. My 10-minute or so make. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. And leave any comments below. I will link up the product that I used below. And I hope you'll join me here next time. Thanks for hanging out with me, and hope you go enjoy a 10-minute make too.